I see that we haven't appeared yet on Facebook. I don't know if we are already live streaming on YouTube or not. I don't have the ability to check the two of them together, but I want to give 1 second to our people to get into that, into the live streaming. We're waiting 1 more second. And in the meantime, if you're already watching us, we welcome you. Say Shabbat Shalom. Here we are. Here we are. Oh, I can hear myself. Just a second. Here we are. So we are ready to start. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's great to feel that we are gathering and to see some of your names and to start to pop up on Facebook and YouTube. It is so great to feel community and proximity and togetherness in this time of social distance. It's such a blessing that we have each other. We are going to start our Kabbalat Shabbat, lighting Shabbat candles. We invite you to open your Siddur on page 120, or alternatively, if you have the PDF file, on page 20. And yes, we are from home. Gabby is fighting her cat, who doesn't understand it. Actually, Gabby...
He doesn't. Human doesn't understand the Shabbat tradition.
And it is a joy to become a part of each other's home and to extend our home activity, our communal home.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להניח נר של Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We're going to turn our liturgy now to page 129 as we start thinking about the gift of this Shabbat, the loving gift of this Shabbat. Ani לדודי ודודי לי. Page 130, we open our hearts to the joy of welcoming Shabbat. We run to welcoming Shabbat, the bride. Lechu nirarena la'Adonai. We're on page 130.
Yishe
days that it's particularly difficult to change our routines, to make it feel different. So say it out loud, say it out, Shabbat Shalom. Let's verbalize the change, the difference that we want to experience. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Return our Sidurim. Page 134, Samru LaAdonai Bechinor. We invite the sounds of Shabbat become our experience of the sacred.
We entered this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to live of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer.
Turn our Sidurim to page 138 or 38 in your PDF file to welcome Shabbat, the bride. Adonai.
Shabbat, שמו אחד, לשם לתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו בניך, כי היא מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. תתעוררי כי באורך אורי אורי, אורי שתדברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה.
We bring Shabbat to wherever we are. בואי ושלום עטרת ועלה, גם בשמחה וברצונה, תוך אמונה והסולה, בואי קלה בואי קלה. You may be seated, and as you sit, we want to encourage you from wherever you are connecting with us to drop us a Shabbat Shalom, to tell us your name. So some of the comments we get to read while we are praying. Yeah, you could say like, are you entertaining yourself with Facebook while you are in prayer? Well, yes, we are right now, because that's a part of the nature what we are doing. I have a little screen open next to me, so I see some of your names. But later on, we go and we actually we check on you. We see if you were with us and your comments, and we want to know about you. We want to feel that we are celebrating Shabbat together as community. So let us know that you are here and say Shabbat Shalom to everyone. Take a moment to say good Shabbos to everyone. And in the meantime, we're going to turn our Sidurim to page 140 to Psalm 92.
Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. מחשבותיך. Page 144. יתגדל ויתקדש שמרבה בעלמא דברך ילותך וימליך מלכותך בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי בכל בית ישראל. בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. אשמרה במעולם לעולם לא דרביה יתברך וישתבח יתבהר מתרומם מתנשא ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריחו בהנה מן כל ברכתה בשאלתה קדוש וחטא ונחמתה להעמיד אמריה אמרו amen. We turn our theorem now to page 146 as we transition into Tfilat Arvit, into Ma'ariv, into our evening prayer. And we say that not just that we are ready to pray, but that we also have the ability to pray as community. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night. Bring light away from darkness, and darkness away from light. Transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzebaot is your name. Ever living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Baruch atah Adonai, Ma'ariv Aravim. And on page 150, before the Shema, start thinking about the presence of an everlasting love. Avat Olam.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Please join me on page 154 or 54 for Ve'ahavta. Let's chant together. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם נאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
אדוני אלוהיכם אמת, אמת באמונה כל סוד וקיים עלינו, כי הוא אדוני אלוהינו, ואין זולתו, ואנחנו ישראל עמו. These days of after Passover, in which we are counting the Omer and we are thinking about our journeys. We reflect on this idea that freedom and redemption are not an event, but they are rather a process. We pray daily for our redemption because we work daily to find freedom within our own beings. We're on page 158. As it is said, and I redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai God Israel.
Give us a place to rest, Adonai, our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours.
Baruch atah Adonai Borei Sukkot, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al kol Amo Yisrael, Ve'al Yerushalayim.
This the seventh day covenant, the sign of our relationship with the sacredness of time and with God itself. We keep Shabbat as a part of our lives. We allow Shabbat to keep us alive. V'shamru b'nei Israel. We're on page 162. V'shamru b'nei Israel. Return our Sirim now to page 164. And we invite you to rise on your legs, to rise on your spirit, as it works comfortably to you. For Tfilat Amidah, as we ask to find the words, to find the ability, the skill to open our hearts and to connect with the words that we need to say. You can follow the words of our tradition, or alternatively, you can take 2 minutes, just 2 minutes of silence to meditate, to reflect, and to try to focus on what you really need to say in this evening of Shabbat.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
שלום רב לישראל עמך, תשים לעולם, כי אתה מלך חלום לכל השלום. טוב עיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, בכל בשלומך, הולך בשלום. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. כי לרצון אמרפי, ועניון ליבי לפניך, אדוני, צורי וגואלי. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל, באמרו. May we see that at this point of our service, we'll take a moment to acknowledge people that are dealing with illness. But when we say Mishaberach during these pandemic days, these days in which we are home trying to keep ourselves safe and the rest of the society, we also think about those that are taking more risks. We think about essential workers. We think about people that are serving in hospitals and in clinics. We think also about people that are doing important work. The people that work in groceries, the people that bring packages for Amazon and with things that our families need. Think about all those that are making important contributions to our society and helping us to function. We think about people that are dealing with illness in their bodies. We think about people that are dealing with coronavirus, with COVID-19. We think about people dealing with mental illness, with illness in their souls. We think about people experiencing anxiety and fear. We think about people dealing with addictions. As we bring our thoughts, we try to focus to gather our energies and to transform them in words of prayer. Mishaberach on page 371. Wish to all of them רפואה שלמה והחלמה מהירה, a complete and a fast recovery. So this week we are reading And you will say that I say that every week. I'm about to say that this week we are reading a very special Torah portion. And what can we do? It is a very special Torah portion. We are reading Parashat Shmini. Parashat Shmini has two central topics. The first one is the death of the children of Adam. We will talk about that tomorrow, not particularly about the death. We'll talk about some of the implications and the surrounding things to that event. And another important topic in this Torah portion is the laws of kashrut, the laws of kosher eating. And as I was reading once again the rules for kosher eating, you basically have a list of things that you are not supposed to eat. And the Torah goes on and on, and for several verses, and there's a list of things that you are supposed to refrain from eating. You're supposed to limit yourself from eating. It's a divine boundary. Why is it a divine boundary? Because right at the beginning of the Torah, in the book of Genesis, God tells us, well, you are supposed to manage this world. So if you're the manager, you basically, I assume that you could use whatever is available to you. But we learn later on with Noah and with the different stories that it wasn't exactly that way. But thinking about the rules of eating kosher and all these things that you are not supposed to eat, and God telling us don't eat this and don't eat that and don't eat that one, I thought about myself dealing with our children and telling them don't eat this candy and not that candy and not the other candy, and that one, it might be tasty, but don't eat that one either. And and I thought about Noga and I setting boundaries to our children and very often also to their grandparents. I saying don't feed them too much, don't give them so much candy. With the hope, not that they refrain from eating candy in 100%, but that they learn that having some limitations is actually a good idea. It's a healthy idea. So they can develop some vision and they can take care of themselves. At the end of the day, the hope is that they are independent. Now, similarly to that, we also learn from the Kabbalah that in order for God to create humanity, he needed to reduce himself, itself. It's called tzimtzum. Tzimtzum means reduction. He needed to reduce himself. If God is infinite, in order to allow humanity to be, we need some kind of divine reduction. And the most clear expression of that reduction is that we were given free will. We have the freedom to choose. But God also wanted us to make good and informed choices. And therefore, he gave us a Torah. And here we are back with the rules of kosher. Now, thinking about limitations in our modern life is sometimes uncomfortable because we believe that our freedom is expressed through our ability to do whatever we want. So we don't like to be told what not to do. We want to have multiple choices and want to do whatever is in our minds. And right now we are in a pandemic time, and all of a sudden we are home. And we are told that it's better for everyone else that we stay home. And we are experiencing a huge limitation for the sake of the society. So I started thinking about this idea that limitations sometimes are not such a bad idea. That limitations and boundaries sometimes could be really, really helpful. And there's a story that came to my mind. It's a story about a rabbi. We rabbis love stories about rabbis. There was a rabbi who was about to retire, and his students came to visit him. He was a teacher on second grade, so all his students show up to to hug him, to thank him, and Benjamin, one of his students, he was an old man by this time, was a grown up, comes to the rabbi and says, "Rabbi, thank you so much. You have been such an inspiration for me." The rabbi says, "Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you for your kind thoughts. What do you do for life, Benjamin?" And he says, "Rabbi, I am a teacher. I am a teacher because you inspire me to be a teacher. I wanted to follow your steps." And he said, "Well, I'm humbled to hear. I am so glad that you decided to work on education." And Benjamin looks at the rabbi and says, "You of course remember the story, right?" And the rabbi says, "Well, I'm not sure what you're talking about." He said, "Rabbi, don't you remember?" "Remind me," says the rabbi. "Well, there was a day in which one of the kids in the class came with a new watch. And God knows that I really wanted to have a watch. I really, really wanted to have a new watch, and my parents didn't have money to buy me a watch. And I don't know what I was thinking about, and I stole that watch from this kid. I kept it on my bag, and you said you were going to revise all the bags you're going to check all the bags in the school, and you, well, I put the watch in my pocket, and I wanted to put it on your table. I wanted to get rid of the watch. I didn't want to continue with that, but I didn't know when was the right time. So I had the watch in my pocket, and you said that before leaving the classroom, you were going to check everybody's pockets, and you put us in a line. And I knew that that was my end. I knew that my dignity was going to be destroyed, and I was going to be blamed and shamed for my entire life in school. But then, just a moment before you started to check our pockets, you said, by the way, everybody, please close your eyes. So you went by one in the line, and I was dying. I was dying. I was so afraid because you were going to know, and you came through me, and then you found the watch. And then you kept going through everyone else. And at the end, you came back to the center. You said, I have the watch. You gave the watch back to the child who the watch belonged to. And you never said a word to me about that. You never said a word to me about that. And that day, you taught me a lot, and you returned to me my dignity. And that story has been with me since. Don't you remember? And the rabbi looks at him and says, my eyes were closed too. So I didn't know it was you. And I think that sometimes we need to learn to limit ourselves. We think that as much as we know more, and we have more power. And actually, sometimes when we set some restrictions to ourselves, we have the power to save someone else's soul and dignity. And also, and I think that this is the beauty about the story of the rabbi, to save our own dignity and our own soul from judgment. We often think about boundaries and limitations as terrible restrictions, or restrictions that are uncomfortable. You can ask my children in the context of having candy. But actually, this Torah portion, and maybe the idea of restrictions and limitations in the context of parenthood, and of course, in the context of Torah, they're not dead ends. They are most of the time expression of care, of love, and opportunities. Opportunities to have a different relationship with our plate, with our environment, opportunities to care about each other, and of course, in the context of the pandemic, opportunities to contribute to our society and to save many lives. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom, Mevorach. We now are going to turn our Sidurim to page 598 for Mourner's Kaddish. We would like to ask you to write in the comments if you are remembering someone the first 7 days of his or her death. Shiva, please write a comment with the name, please rise. If you are doing the cycle of the first 30 days of mourning, Shloshim, please rise and write a comment if you can. If you are doing the cycle of the first year of mourning, please rise, write a comment. If you have a yortzeit this week, please rise and write a comment. Now you can support our fellows joining us with your voices and your hearts for Mourner's Kaddish on page 598. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי הרבה, בעלמה תברך חידותי בימליך מלכותי, בחייכון ובימיכון בחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב באמרו אמן. יאש שמי הרבה מבורך לעולם ולמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי קודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, ושבחתה ונחמתה, לאמירם בעלמה באמרו אמן. יש להם הרבה אמין שמיה, וחיים טובים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. May the memories of your dear ones be a blessing in your life. Yeah, Zichram Baruch. So a few more things that we need to acknowledge. Noah, why don't you come next to me? So you are seen. So a few more things that we want and need to acknowledge. Number one, this Tuesday night, we will commemorate Yom HaShoah Be'Gvura, the day of the extermination and of the courage. We don't say Holocaust, we say Shoah. Holocaust is a word that appears actually in the Bible in the context of a ritual sacrifice. And therefore we use the word Shoah. So I encourage you to adopt the word Shoah. We will have Seder, as we had last year, in which we follow a text, read together, sang together, mourn together, and inspire each other. A week later, we will have our already traditional Avdallah, ceremony of distinction between Zikaron and Atzmaut, between the Memorial Day in the State of Israel and the Day of Independence in the State of Israel. These two commemorations and celebrations are going to be quite different this year, but not less important and meaningful. So please join us and participate with us. We look forward to seeing you and sharing with you these congregational opportunities. We now are going to turn our Sidurim to page 142, if I'm not wrong. And if you have the PDF file, it's on page 42. For Shalom Aleichem, we welcome the Shabbos, the angels, welcome the presence of what is sacred in this Shabbat.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Yasharem, Malachei
And before we do Kiddush, as we prepare to do Kiddush, we are going to turn our Sidurim to page 570. And we are going to count the Omer. We are going to count the steps on our journey from Passover into Shavuot. Inneni mukhanum zuman, inneni mukhanum zuman, inneni mukhanum zuman, lekayem et mitzvat aseh. Inneni mukhanum zuman, inneni mukhanum zuman, inneni mukhanum zuman, lekayem et mitzvat aseh. כמו שכתוב בתורה, הנני מוכן ומזומן, כמו שכתוב בתורה, הנני מוכן ומזומן, הנני מוכן ומזומן, לקיים את מצוות עשה של ספירת העומר. I am ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the homer. ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו על ספירת העומר. Our praise to you, Adonai, sovereign of all, who hallows us with the mitzvot and commanding us to count the homer. Ayom, Yom Shishi, Shabbat. Thank God that you're here, Noga. Shabbat, She'em, Tisha Yamim, which is one Shavua Echad, V'shnei Yamim LaOmer. Today are 9 days to the Omer, which is
1 week.
1 week.
2 days.
Matter, I'm not working for me today. I don't know what's happening to me. Oh, you can start forgiving me. Can you raise our cup for Kiddush? Yeah, you have a cup or we have a cup? Who goes? You go, I go. I go. ויחולו השמיים בארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי, ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. צבי חבריי וחברותיי, ויעשה לחיים ולחיים. You go.
Oh, okay.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפם.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh bereshit, ki hu yom tehila lemikrai kodesh, zecher letziat mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta, beltanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'ahava v'ratzon hinchatanu, baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha'shabbat.
לחיים, לחיים. And at the end of our tefillah, for our prayer, we invite you, if you are with someone at home, you can put each other's arms on your shoulders or connect with each other. And if you're physically alone, we want you to know that you are not lonely. We are here. We are your community. We are here. And our loving embrace goes to you. We take the millennia-old words of our tradition, thousands of years of love. We transform them into a blessing. We all need blessings. We all need to be seen. We say, may God inspire you to be like the fathers and the mothers of Israel. לשמח אלוהים כפריים וכמנחשן, לשמח אלוהים כשרה, רבקה, רחל ולאה. יברככם אדוני וישמרכם. May God bless you and protect you. May God's light shine upon you and may God be gracious to you. May God's presence be within you always. May God bless you with peace. May God bless you as with wholeness. May God bless us with health, with love. וישם לכם שלום. אדוני עוש לעמו ייתן. May God give us courage, strength. And may God bless us with peace, with wholeness, with integrity. May God bless us with shalom. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Shabbat shalom. Good Shabbos. Let's do a cappella, Gabi. כי ישמר השבת אל ישמרני.
כי ישמר השבת אל ישמרני.
די, די, די. אותי לעולמי יד בינו וביני.
אותי לעולמי
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. See you tomorrow, 9 a.m. for Torah study, 10 a.m. for Shabbat. Shacharit Shel Shabbat.